What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. Tonight's video, Thursday night, we have a fun football game starting in about 45 minutes. The LA Rams and the San Francisco 49ers, first week of the fantasy playoffs. A lot on the line tonight. So if you guys do have questions, please get them in the chat. I will get to them after I read some of the player news here. I'm just going to go over some of the practice reports and news blurbs from today that we need to know. And I guess the first one at the top of the list is Kenneth Walker does not practice again today, Thursday. So he's back-to-back DNPs, Wednesday, Thursday. This puts him, to me, on the strong side of doubtful. I think if you have Kenneth Walker, plan for him to not to play. That's going to move Zach Charbonnet up in my rankings as of right now. And if you guys do have access to the membership rankings, I have Zach Charbonnet all the way up at RB13, which feels pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to move him up that much higher, if once we do get him ruled out. So I'm starting to think, play Zach Charbonnet if you have Zach Charbonnet against the Packers defense. The Saints are going to start Jake Haener, whatever. Don't really want to do that for Superflex, but maybe start the Commanders D. Hollywood Brown received final clearance to practice. He could return to practice tomorrow or Monday. I don't know if I want to play him in fantasy football week 16 or 17. You can add him and maybe think about it, but I think it's too risky to put him out there in potentially his first game back week 16 or 17. Demarcus Robinson, Jordan Whittington, Davis Allen, these guys are all active for tonight's game. And then Isaac Guerendo is active for tonight. Now, I'm sure he's been the one guy that I've been getting questions about all week. Him and Patrick Taylor. Here's my thoughts on Isaac Guerendo. If I have Isaac Guerendo and I don't have like another top 20-ish running back, I'll play Guerendo tonight. To me, the cutoff line is kind of, this group of running backs: Brian Robinson, Rachaad White, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Braylon Allen, and Najee Harris. You can maybe say Isaiah Pacheco. Those running backs I'm playing over Guerendo just because I feel good about them. I like their spots this week. Guerendo, with the foot sprain on Sunday, didn't really practice much all week. I do not trust Kyle Shanahan. I think he's incredibly difficult to read. And, it's a short week. Rookie running back here, a speed rookie running back that looked great last week. I don't think he's going to be able to get the volume that we need to have a huge game. So I don't think the ceiling's there. I could be totally wrong. It is a risky proposition, though. We have a guy coming in hurt. Don't know how great I feel about Guerendo tonight, but I'm willing to play him, over guys like Tyrone Tracy, DeAndre Swift, Jalen Warren, Ramondre, the Jags backs, the Chargers backs, stuff like that. I think Guerendo kind of slides in as a late RB2 for me. Mike Evans, Bucky Irving don't practice today, which is interesting. It looks like Bucky Irving could miss this week, so that's why I have Rachaad White ranked pretty highly. And then Mike Evans with that hamstring, maybe that's just a rest day. We'll find out more tomorrow, but I would say Mike Evans is more questionable for me. Bucky Irving not practicing back-to-back days. I'm thinking he's doubtful for week 15. Ladd McConkey back at practice again today, limited. Aiden O'Connell not practicing for the Raiders, whatever. George Pickens not practicing on Thursday here. He's looking like doubtful again for this weekend. I'm going to downgrade Russell Wilson, maybe upgrade Pat Freiermuth and lean into the running backs a little bit more. We do have to be weary of Tony Pollard. He doesn't practice again today, so back-to-back DNPs. I'm not sure if he's just getting rest at this point, but tomorrow will be a huge day. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, he's probably not going to play. So be on the lookout for Tony Pollard tomorrow. No Breece Hall today. Didn't practice yesterday either. As of right now, I would say kind of the same thing with Kenneth Walker. It looks like no Breece Hall for week 15. So Braylon Allen, right now I have him ranked as my RB 22. I have Isaiah Davis, RB 37, kind of next to Jerome Ford, Javonte Williams, Gus Edwards, those type of guys. I like Braylon Allen if no Breece Hall. No David Njoku. They've pretty much said that he's not going to play. So I moved Njoku out of my rankings for the tight ends. He's all the way at the bottom. So that's going to move up Jordan Akins. If you need a tight end, the Chiefs are one of the worst teams against the tight end position. If you're desperate and you need a starting tight end off the waiver wire, Jordan Akins could be your guy. We do have to worry a little bit about Alvin Kamara here. He did not practice with an illness. back-to-back DNPs for Kamara. That does bode well for Kendre Miller, who I think is going to be moving up my rankings if Kamara misses practice tomorrow. Evan Ingram doesn't practice today. If you guys need a tight end, I'm looking at Pat Freiermuth. I'm looking at Jordan Akins off the waiver wire, stuff like that. Josh Downs fully practiced, so it looks like he's back on track to get in the lineup after the bye week. Xavier Legette's going to undergo some surgery after the season to repair his wrist. Let's see what else we got here. We have to watch DeAndre Swift. He's listed as did not practice with a groin injury. Now, they play Monday night, so this is their Wednesday today. Wednesday's usually not that important, so if he misses tomorrow, we'll kind of reevaluate the Bears' backfield. And then I think we're pretty much up to date here. So I'm going to get into some of the comments here, and let's hang out for a bit. Gut feeling is telling me start Garrett Wilson over Jauan Jennings. Can I get your thoughts on this? Man, I do like Garrett Wilson, but it's really hard to ignore what Jauan Jennings has been doing the last month and a half of football. I'm a vibes-based person. Like, if you have a gut instinct and you feel good about something, I want you to tap into that and to trust your instincts. I can simply just, give you some facts and some operations that I would use to make these decisions. Whereas Jennings right now, it's a must-win game, Thursday Night Football against the Rams. I think we're considering Jauan Jennings like a stud receiver now. He's a really strong wide receiver too. As much as I like Garrett Wilson, just the Jets, there's a big stink around the Jets right now. And I know we've had some banger games from Garrett Wilson, but Devontae Adams is also there. I think I'm going to lean Jauan Jennings, but I'm not going to be telling you not to do that. I'll go with Jennings. Yeah, I'm going to go with Jauan Jennings tonight. And the updates on Guerendo is he's going to play, but man, we really don't know. One, can his foot stay healthy for the whole game? Will he be just a part of a committee and they're going to lean on Patrick Taylor? Maybe we see a Bonnie Conda. Maybe we see Keyshawn Vaughn tonight. I'm not quite sure. Maybe we see Deebo Samuel get 7-8 touches behind, from the backfield. I'm really – Kyle Shanahan's one of the most difficult coaches to figure out, and I'm not sure we're going to get 15 carries from Guerendo tonight. I think if I had to guess, it's going to be between 10 and 12 carries for Guerendo tonight. I just don't know if we get a volume game from our guy. Broncos defense or Vikings defense? Let me look and see who I have in my rankings here. I do think I have the Vikings ranked as a little bit higher. Yeah, I have the Vikings number 2 this week. We just saw the 49ers sack Caleb Williams 7 times. I like the Vikings pass rush. I like their ability to confuse Caleb Williams with some coverages, good defensive coordinator, rookie quarterback. I'm going to go with the Vikings here. Broncos defense, I still like the Broncos. They're my 4th ranked defense this week, but Anthony Richardson, he has big playability. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball deep. I'm going to go Vikings. Yes. Let me double check that. I got Tyrone Tracy as my RB27, and I love Tyrone Tracy. Don't love the quarterback situation. I think that's a lot of question marks there with Tommy DeVito. My bad. And just going up against Baltimore, I don't really want to mess with the Baltimore Ravens defense. That's the number 1 defense, I think, maybe the number 2, number 3 defense in my rankings. But the Ravens, they just don't allow running back points. So I'm staying away from Tyrone Tracy. He could still have a good game, but I will go Guerendo over Tracy. Do I drop Dobbins? I think we can drop Dobbins. When did he go on IR is the question. Let me see. So Dobbins went on IR. So he's 13, 14, 15, 16. He might be back week 17. I wouldn't play him week 17, first game back from an injury. I'm probably not doing that. So if you need the spot, we're on a week-to-week basis right now. I would cut J.K. Dobbins if I needed to find some roster room. And good evening, Sport Dog. I'll be benching Guerendo tonight and using Saquon and Bijan. Easy. Using Love as QB, but I have Herbert on the bench. Should I switch them? So I have Jordan Love ranked right now at QB 10, and I have Herbert ranked at QB 15. It does look like he's going to get his weapons back. So Lad McConkey in, I do like that. But I'm still going to play Jordan Love at Seattle. I think that game has a little bit more juice to it than Tampa Bay Chargers. It's a great matchup for Justin Herbert. I understand that. But we don't really get a lot of volume from Herbert. And I'm kind of playing the numbers here. Whereas Jordan Love, I think, the Packers have kind of scaled him back a little bit in the last month or so. They've been putting less on his plate, which I think is good. But it's just from watching the Packers every week, it does look like at some point they need to turn it over and let him start chucking the ball again. So I think he's your better bet for 2 touchdowns. Seattle, Green Bay is probably where I'm going to land. I do think Herbert's the safer play, but I mean, Love, his last 4 games, man, he's been pretty steady. And I think if someone's going to get you 20 points, it's more likely to be Jordan Love than Herbert. Garrett. I just want to look at Garrett Wilson's numbers real quick because, he's a very good player. And, I don't like sitting guys like him. He's wide receiver 6 on the year, man. So he's playing good football right now. His last 4 games, though, not a lot of confidence. I'm in PPR. I'm seeing 18 points, 9 points, 6 points, and 9 points. That's 1 good game out of 4 games. So I'm going to stick with Jauan Jennings. If I were to filter by the last 5 weeks here, Jauan Jennings is wide receiver 8. Garrett Wilson is wide receiver 46. So I think it's very clear Jauan Jennings is playing a lot better than Garrett Wilson right now. 18 PPR Superflex. We have Cade Otton, but I could get Kraft or Ertz. Should I make a move or stay with Otton? Otton has really slowed down since the return of Mike Evans. And if I just look at the last 3 weeks for tight ends, Cade Otton is not even a top 20 tight end. Tucker Kraft's tight end 8. Zach Ertz is tight end 14. So I'm kind of okay with being done with Cade Otton. He hasn't caught a touchdown in 3 weeks. Tucker Kraft has 2 touchdowns. Zach Ertz has 2 touchdowns in that span. They both have more targets than Cade Otton. Actually, they're tied with – they all have 14 targets, but the touchdowns are kind of flowing right now to Tucker Kraft and Zach Ertz. If I look at who's allowing the tight end points, let's double check here. So the Packers going up against Seattle. Seattle does allow tight end points, man. They allow a lot of receptions and yards. So Seattle's allowing about 13 PPR points per game to the tight end. So it is a good spot for Kraft. And then Zach Ertz going up against the Saints. The Saints are a little bit stingier. They allow about 10.8 points per game to the tight end. And then Cade Otton against the Chargers. The Chargers kind of the same as the Saints. I'm going to lean Tucker Kraft here. He's been a good piece of the offense, catching touchdowns. They scheme a lot of stuff up for him lately. I'm going to lean Tucker Kraft here. And, leave Love and Kraft, I think, would be a fun duo. And good evening to Brett. Which defense would you pick up for Week 16? Colts, Tampa Bay, Lions, Chargers. I do want to shout out if the Packers are available, they're going to get the New Orleans Saints at home on Monday Night Football. To me, that sounds like a 34 to 10 kind of game. So I do like recommending the Packers for Week 16 if they're not available. Let's look and see what we got here. So the Colts are going to be playing. They're at home against Tennessee. I don't hate that one. Tampa Bay at Dallas. I'm probably going to stay away from Tampa Bay. I don't really trust their defense. You can throw the ball on them. And honestly, the Cowboys offense has kind of come around. Like they've been, not like above average, but they've been middle of the field where they've been running the ball better. CeeDee Lamb's perked up. They've been throwing the ball. They're healthier with Ferguson and Brandon Cooks now. So I'm going to rule Tampa Bay out. And then you have the Lions at Chicago, which again, good teams against rookie quarterbacks. I kind of like that. I think the Lions are in play here. I wish it was in Detroit, but and we did see the Chicago Bears. They fought back against the Lions on Thanksgiving Day. So I don't know if I'm into the Lions here. And then you have the Chargers. Where are they? At home against Denver, Thursday Night Football. I'm probably not going to go with that one. I do like the Chargers defense, but I don't really want to go against Bo Nix right now. The Broncos offense has been playing very well. So I think it's the Colts. If not the Colts, I'm looking at the Packers as the team that I want to try and pick up. And L Smith 18, thanks for hanging out, man. Picking 2 wide receivers and a flex, full PPR. Hmm. You have a very good team, sir. Okay, let's pick out the two best You got to go Cooper Kupp. I think it's Cooper Kupp and Nico Collins. I'm going to lock those two in as my receivers. And a flex, full PPR. We're going to cross Malik Neighbors out just with Tommy DeVito. Not really interested. Man, this is a team here. L Smith 18. This is a team. I think I usually default to running backs here, especially volume running backs. You have James Conner at home against the New England Patriots. That's a plus matchup. He has the ability to get a lot of receptions. He's probably getting a touchdown in that game. I guess I'm leaving Tyreek and Evans on the bench. And 8-man league. Yep, that'll do it. And you have Bijan and Derrick Henry at running back. So I do like Cooper Kupp tonight. I like Nico Collins quite a bit. I would play James Conner. If you didn't want to go James Conner, I guess if you don't want to go James Conner, I would go Tyreek. I do like Mike Evans, but it is a tougher matchup on paper against the Chargers. They've been a good team against opponent wide receivers. So if you don't want to go Cooper Kupp, you can plug in Mike Evans there too. So I think for me, I'm going to go Kupp and Collins at the receiver spots, and I'll play James Conner. If you want to pivot Conner to Evans or Tyreek, I think I would do that. Okay, so this is perfect setup here, Christian. So you have what I would consider a very strong play. If Breece Hall does not play, we kind of want to play Braylon Allen, and I know he's going to be in some kind of split with Isaiah Davis, but they gave Braylon Allen the RB2 duties all season long, and he's been the lead back when Breece has not been out there. They did split it 50-50 down the middle last week, but it was still a little bit in favor towards Braylon Allen. You're also playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, which they're allowing the second most points to the running back position. So there's room for both Braylon and Isaiah Davis to eat. We just don't know what we're getting with Guerendo tonight. If I'm going to guess Guerendo's stat line for tonight, I'm going to say, I'm going to give him 13 carries for 58 yards and something like 2 catches for 25 and a 50% chance at a touchdown. So if I do the math backwards, that's what, like maybe 14 fantasy points from Guerendo. I would be surprised if he hits over 20. He'd have to score 2 touchdowns to do so. I don't see a volume game for Guerendo tonight. So I'm going to lean with my guy, Braylon Allen here. And again, if Braylon Allen doesn't play, you still have a good pivot to Tyrone Tracy, which it's not a terrible play to play Tyrone Tracy against the Ravens. He should be a volume runner. He should get the ball a ton. Everyone has been taking Evans over Kupp. And yeah, I don't hate Mike Evans, but the Rams have just been so good lately. I'm a little nervous to not play Cooper Kupp. If I'm looking at the last 3 weeks here for fantasy football, Cooper Kupp has been. Where is Cooper Kupp? I mean, he's had one bad game in the last 2 months. Otherwise, he's 15, 16, 20, 21, 28, 20. I think I'm playing Kupp tonight. Yeah. Is Higgins or Garrett Wilson something in question, or T all the way? So we did see T Higgins' floor last week. It wasn't great. It is a tougher matchup on paper this week for T Higgins going up against they're at Tennessee. Where are they? They're at Tennessee, but yeah, I'm going T Higgins. We're kind of done with the Jets, I think. We're down 40 in the semifinals going into week 2 of the matchup. Okay, so you need big points, is what you're saying. I'm gonna stick with Nico, and then here I think if you need big points, then I think I play Kupp because 1, 2, 3 of his last 4 games have been over 20 fantasy points, and 4 of his last 6 games have been over 20 fantasy points in full PPR. Touchdowns are flowing. A lot of focus on Puka Nacua tonight. I think Cup's got a good chance to hit those 20 fantasy points that you're looking for. And then, as far as ceiling play, I think I'm okay with going Mike Evans at the flex over James Conner if that's what feels right to do. And Evans, he's got the hamstring thing going on, but he's played well in the last couple of games. Not so much week 14, but he looked great week 13 against the Panthers. I'm open to Mike Evans in the flex there, my man. Is Singletary sharing the backfield with Tracy, or is Tracy own the backfield again? Let me pull up my post-game notes from last week. I believe Tracy has just taken it over again. I don't think it's close. Alrighty, so last week, week 14, 78 total snaps on offense for the Giants. Tyrone Tracy played 65 of them. Devin Singletary only 14 snaps. In terms of touches, we had 16 carries for Tyrone Tracy, only 2 for Devin Singletary, 10 targets for Tyrone Tracy last week, none for Singletary. It's Tracy's backfield. And if I go back to week 13 even, in week 13, Tyrone Tracy played 46 out of 63 snaps. Singletary only played on 13 snaps. The carries were a little bit closer in that game, but it still heavily favors Tyrone Tracy. Oh man. Your team's really good, man. It sucks. Sometimes having too good of a team comes back to haunt you because you have these really tough decisions down the stretch, and it's hard to trade because nobody wants to trade with the team that's got all the good players. Sometimes it works against you when your team's killing it that much. But you have a good squad, man. So it sucks we're down 40, but I think you have the right guys to get the banger points that you need. I'm gonna hit refresh on some of my feeds and see if we have any more news blurbs to discuss. Otherwise, I'll get out of here for this evening. I will be live on Sunday morning this weekend. If you guys want to hang out, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, we'll go live and I'll read all the player active, all the active and active news, and we can answer any questions you guys have. But hopefully we get a good game tonight. I've been kind of recommending people to not play Guerrero. So when he scores a touchdown tonight, you guys can think of me and I'll be feeling stupid. But as long as Guerrero's under 14 fantasy points, I think I'll be okay with my recommendations. Okay. Yeah. The Chase Burrow stack has league winning upside at the moment right now, but Joe Burrow, man, with the weird stuff going on, broken house and the lady friend stuff. And hey, Brett, thank you guys for hanging out. Enjoy the game tonight. I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. Enjoy the game. We'll see you on Sunday morning. Peace. Got me feeling icy.